Me and Bee are just heading out, but Furrnando just turned up at the house and he is soaking wet, looking like a drowned rat and covered in, looks like green stuff, so he's definitely been hanging out in the lake, haven't you? What have you been up to? And Ginjey's just lying down in the sun, looking far more elegant than Furrnando. But Ginjey is getting older these days, so she's a lot more chill than she used to be. You having fun?
We're the indie projects, Bee and Theo. In 2017, we bought an abandoned property in Central Portugal and spent the last few years turning it into a fully fledged homestead, converting an old stone barn into a cosy tiny home. Working non-stop and overcoming many obstacles, it turned out better than we ever could have imagined. As one chapter closes, another one begins. Our dreams of living even more remotely in a fairy tale forest with space for animals to roam and our passions to grow became a reality. Before we have even moved there, it was devastated by a huge wildfire, drastically altering the landscape. Immense flash floods followed as the land couldn't hold onto the water. Follow us as we carve out our new life on Miracle Mountain.
We're getting into the farm vibe, no longer in holiday mode, and because it's summer we've got to get up early and do any chores that we want to do in the morning before the sun reaches its peak and it gets super duper hot. So it's about 8 AM right now, it's lovely and cool, and we've got some exciting stuff to do.
So one of the first things that we're going to do this morning is head down to one of the fruit orchards, because one of the first things we noticed when we arrived back from our trip in North America is that loads of fruit is ready for picking. We got the whole gang with us, Wet Furrnando, Bee, and Ginjey Bear is following. I absolutely love this walk down here. The road bends around and it's just full of trees, nicely in the shade. It's just beautiful. Look at that.
And check this out, I discovered this the other day. I've been curious about what the flowers were, and this is a pomegranate tree. I'm overly hyped about this, and there's loads of them growing on it, which is really exciting. I absolutely love pomegranate, but I never buy them. I don't need to anymore.
Both me and Bee are really enjoying this summer so far. I know basically it's only just started because we've just arrived back and we weren't here for the whole of June, but we're seeing things that we haven't seen, obviously, since we had the big fire on the property.
This right here is probably my favourite tree on our entire homestead, and I was really excited when I identified it because it loses its leaves in the winter, which immediately let me know it's not the invasive mimosa that you see all around Portugal, even though it does look the same. It's called a Persian silk tree, and it is beautiful. It's ornamental, and I've seen quite a few of them in people's gardens as we've been driving around Portugal this summer. And what differentiates it from the invasive mimosa is that there aren't millions of its babies sprouting up around it, which you do see with the other ones. They have a beautiful yellow pom-pom flower that comes out in about springtime, and this one is the Persian silk tree, and I'm obsessed with it. Also, it's from that same family where if you touch the leaves they close. These don't do that, sadly, because that would just make it even better.
Close your eyes and chase what you see. The rest of our days, no more losing sleep. No matter where we go, you make this feel like home.
As you guys probably already know, Miracle Mountain is stocked full of fruit trees and different orchards, which made it really appealing to us when we were viewing this property. And you can see here, this is just a small apple tree, but it is loaded full of juicy apples. And this isn't even an orchard. This is just an area to the side of the road. We've got an orange tree there, loads of cherries. It's mainly a cherry orchard. Another apple tree, a different variety of apple, cherry, orange, and it just carries on like that. Bee has just found a really nice juicy pear tree.
And I know people are going to want to know what species of pear this is, and so would I, because they're absolutely wonderful and they're perfect. You want to pick pears before they're soft on the tree. So these ones are still firm, but they look definitely ready, and they ripen off the tree in about a day or two. We've been eating them and they are absolutely delicious. Look at that.
It doesn't get much better than picking your own fruit on your own property. It's so nice to be able to eat from the land, and we can't wait to maintain all of these trees and get the most possible fruit we can. But at the moment it's producing such wonderful juicy fruit. We haven't even started yet.
We've got loads of different fruit trees on the property and they all are ready at different times of the year. And the pears are ready right now. This is just a handful of them. I think we have about 10 pear trees of different species, which is pretty exciting. I want to try different recipes with these, and I did get a dehydrator, so I'm going to dehydrate some pears. Apples will be ready in about September, and we do have some peaches. I'm hoping that we can pick those and they'll ripen in the kitchen.
So as well as loads of fruit and soon our new veggie garden that we're going to put together, we have loads of other edible plants around the property, and one of them that I've been seeing loads growing wild is mint. So we're just on our way to the mint and Bee shouted, "Walnut!"
I just spotted this on the floor, didn't know what it was, and it's a walnut. Look, inside is a walnut. I'm absolutely gobsmacked, and I think it must have come from this tree because it was below it. I can't see any other walnuts, but it would make perfect sense because it's green. It looks like it's just dropped off a tree and it's just below this tree.
So we've got walnuts, pine nuts.
Walnuts, pine nuts, that's all the nuts we know of so far, but there could be more nuts that we don't know about. So
I've got a couple of nuts.
That's really exciting.
This is a gorgeous little area. It's like a little wild meadow. You can see all the different colours of flowers. But also there's wild mint everywhere, and I first discovered it when I was mowing the grass on the tractor. I was driving over it and the smells were just lovely. You can see it's just popping up all over the place, and you can never have enough of this stuff.
No, it smells absolutely amazing, and I know that mint is very good at taking over, so I want to take some back up to the house but pot it so it doesn't take over the whole world up there. But as you walk through here and you crush the leaves, oh, the smell of mint that comes up is just absolutely divine.
You make this feel like home.
Thanks to Squarespace, making your own website has never been easier.
We use Squarespace as a space for us to have our social media accounts, blog, shop, and even a newsletter all in one place. Handy features such as a free logo maker, newsletter, and even a commerce section ensures you can have the website you want. Designed with the user in mind, Squarespace has an easy and uncomplicated interface so you can bring your ideas to life.
Their groundbreaking drag and drop editor gives you total control of your website design, and pre-designed structures make your page building a breeze with pre-built layouts.
The templates are customizable. Add and remove any features you want whilst altering the colour, font, layout and more.
Specific purposes such as contact, about, blog, portfolio and more are ready-made and arranged to quickly create professional layouts and showcase your content. So why not build your very own website with Squarespace today by clicking the link in our bio for a 2-week free trial, and we've got a fantastic 10% discount for you to use with the code indieprojects with your first purchase of a website or a domain.
So now we've collected all of that lovely fruit, the next step is to go to the chickens and let them out of their coop so they can have a nice free range before it gets too warm. So down by the chickens, Bee has this lovely sun lounger that she hangs out on with the chickens, but Furrnando seems to have taken it over.
Sun shining bright over my horizon. Put the top down, gonna keep on driving. 'Cause it's blue sky, blue sky, blue skies. Blue sky, blue sky, blue skies.
I really enjoy coming down and sitting with the chickens whilst they have this roaming time. It's good for them to get out and forage and go under the trees and see what's under the leaves, and it also gives me some time to just sit and just be in the forest or wherever the chickens have decided to go and have some time out.
So it's currently just gone 6 p.m. in the evening, and we're heading down to the goats because every evening we take them for a nice long walk around the property so they can get loads of lovely grazing done for the day when it's cooler. And it wouldn't be a walk around the property without our little sidekick Furrnando following us everywhere.
So we recently moved the horse box into this area by the trees because it gets more shade. As the summer has come, the sun is much higher in the sky, which means this field is getting way more sunlight during the day. So having this in the shade is good for the girls. It means they've got somewhere shady constantly, and it's really nice to have areas where the ground is generally cooler from the trees anyway.
So you might have spotted from this video clip that Sweet Pea currently has some piping gaffer taped to her horns, and that is because she kept getting stuck in our movable fencing. And our movable fencing, it's square, so she puts her horns through. It's netted as well. She gets tangled up in this netting, and then you free her and she does it again instantly. She definitely isn't the brightest goat, are you? You're not the brightest goat, but you are the most beautifulest goat.
Oh no.
But yeah, look at this. No, you're the beautifulest.
They're all beautiful.
You're all beautiful. But you can see this pipe contraption is actually working so well. And since we put it on her horns, she has not got stuck. And it's not forever, it's just till she learns that sticking your head through netting is not a good idea. Right, let's go for the nice walk. Come on then, goaties. It's time to walk the property. We're going to go up to the pond today. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on, goaties. Come on, goaties. Come on, goaties. Good girls. Come on. So here they are. The goats are really obedient. Look at them, they all like to walk in a line, which is really cute. And the weather is glorious, so we'll see some nice things today around the property. And also the further up we get, because we're on the side of a mountain, it will become even more shady, which is nice because it's cooler. It's been a really warm day today. But look at the views, the scenery on our property never gets old. I feel like a tour guide, but we have made it to stop number 1 on the goats itinerary. And as you can see, Sweet Pea and all the other goats are eating the pears and the apples that have already fallen off the tree, which is great. They eat absolutely everything. She just dropped it there. Do you not want it? It's a bit old looking. She seems to be enjoying it, and the others are as well. And Bee is hiding out under the shade. They're such good tree pruners as well. All of these bits at the bottom of the tree, he's not doing anything, so they will eat all of them. If you know how to put goats to use, they are amazing creatures.
All of these apples will fuel them up for their walk up into the mountain, and they do stop off at this tree every single time because there are a few, well, quite a few that have dropped down, and they're very good at hoovering them up.
And who needs a livestock guardian dog when you have our beautiful little Furrnando watching over the goats and making sure they're all okay? Although I think the goats would actually protect him if a predator came for them. I do think that Sweet Pea looks a little bit like Princess Leia with her pipe stuck to her head. It actually makes me laugh a lot. You having fun? This is the dream for goats. Just hanging out under the apple tree, eating all of the fruit. And that is the great thing. These fruit trees, as well as feeding us, they feed our animals. So as well as eating all of the fallen fruit on the side of the road, they're also eating all of the weeds as well. So it's just another job that we don't have to do. It's actually really good because they just suppress any of these weeds growing up where they're quite hard to cut by person.
Come on! Hey, Tildy! Come on, girls. Hey, Tild. Sweetie. And here comes Sky.
Sky's coming running up.
Oh, and Margot. She's got leaves hanging out of her mouth.
Margot's running while eating.
Margot.
She looks adorable.
Oh, Margot.
Come on, we got a good adventure. There's much more greenery where we're going. And you'll probably hear me start to heavy breathe right now because it starts to get a lot steeper.
This way. The goats really enjoy this part of the forest because there's a lot of deciduous trees. There's also a lot of pine trees which they enjoy eating too. And then there's just weeds, also bark. Sky loves headbutting trees and chasing Matilda. Here we go. Sky just almost ran headfirst into that tree. Come on. So goats really like to enjoy a big variety of food. They like to eat bark, dried leaves, fresh leaves. Haven't seen them eat pine cones or anything like that, but then they also eat fresh grass, dried grass. And they generally try and eat what we're eating as well. So I can't eat anything in front of them. The only problem with this part of the forest at this time of the year, especially when you're talking, is all the little flies try and get in your mouth. And I have, on more than one occasion, inhaled a fly. And it's always when I don't have a bottle of water, so I've got one today just in case.
And it feels like the summer. Oh, it feels like the summer to me. It feels like the summer. It feels like the summer, and it's where I wanna be. Swimming in the light of the warmer weather. No cloud inside, and there's nothing better.
So just here where we are on this track up into the mountains is a prime area that we want them to eat. So what we do is we just hang around here, and you can see we got some brambles. That's no problem for the goats. They eat all of them down, and all of the other weeds that are along the middle of the track where the tyres don't go. You can see just there's quite a few brambles shooting up, and they'll feast on that. That will keep them going for 30 seconds and we'll move on. I just absolutely love spending time in this beautiful forest. It just never gets old. You see new things every single time, and it's even better when I got the goats and the cats following along. It's just gorgeous. These evenings are everything. It's just hard to put into words. We did, however, buy a 360-degree camera, so I'm hoping to do some more kind of immersive shots, which I'm super stoked to try through the forest and through our property, so you guys can kind of understand it a little bit easier and how beautiful it actually is, because everywhere you look right now, it is just wonderful. It really is. Come on then, goaties. I think it's time to head up to the pond area. You love the pond area. There's lots of fresh greenery to eat. Come on, follow me. So while the goats are grazing on the mountainside, Furrnando has found a lovely little spot to lie down and have a little nap. Is it cool in that pipe? Isn't he just the most adorable cat? Sweet Pea and Furrnando, both on the stone together. That's why they love it up here. There's so much to climb. They can get slightly higher up on some fresher branches. And they're such good climbers. And just as I said that, she basically fell over. It's fair to say, I think, Sweet Pea, you need some parkour lessons. Parkour!
So we're nearly at the pond and you're going to be really surprised at how much it has changed since April when it was dug out. It's actually blows my mind every time I see it. And the goats really enjoy coming up here into this part of the forest. It's so cool. Fernando, you're so funny. Oh, hello! And my mom, whilst she was staying here, saw an otter in the pond. Unfortunately, we don't have any footage of it, but we think that's the reason why the majority of our goldfish have since disappeared. And also, whew, the flies are going for my hair. Oh gosh, I'm in a fly swarm. The amount of greenery that's grown up around the pond is also amazing. Are they attracted to my hair?
So the otter is definitely the reason we only have one goldfish left. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet for an otter. But also, Bee's mum, while she was here, she actually saw a snake in there that pulled a massive frog out of the pond and on the side of the bank to try and eat it. And this frog was way bigger than anything this size snake could eat. Look how much this has greened up since we last showed you the pond. It is looking so nice. And down here, it's buzzing with insects. You can see it's like a little wild flower meadow all the way around, which is just beautiful. And I can just spot down there actually the one goldfish that is left. And the great thing is there's loads of natural pond plants that have started to grow in here, which will help clean the water. I mean, it's already a mountain spring, so it's crystal clear, but it will just help aerate everything. It's really good for obviously the things that live in there as well. So yeah, I'm super stoked with how this area is coming along. And just look at the goats. I don't need to bring the strimmer up here. They can just have a great time keeping it down. They get fed and we get a nice job done as well. And Sweet Pea, I don't know if you can see, is all the way over the other side and will probably end up going for a swim if I know her.
Because we do walk through here so often with the goats, and not just because we come here with the goats, but it would be really nice to have a little seating area, I think, here one day, and maybe make the edge a little bit easier to access the water. It is such a lovely wildlife spot, and we do need to set up some camera traps here as well. But we've got a lot of visions for this area of things that we'd like to do in the future, that's for sure. But I can't decide where a bench would be. The sound is lovely of the trickling water, but the bench is like, should it be looking at the pond, the forest? Where do you think?
I definitely have to agree with Bee on that one. We have to make something up here to make it just a little bit more comfortable, to spend a bit more time, because whenever I'm feeling stressed, this is the area that I come and sit by the pond, listen to the trickling water, and just try and clear my mind a little bit for the next task in hand.
Blazing trails, sleeping on bedroom floors. I patterned your smile, still finding our way to go. Just close your eyes and run through a dream. The rest of our days, just hold on to me. No matter where we go.
We are on the move and we're going to head back down the mountain. Done a really nice loop. We've still got a long way to get back down, but we've done a really nice loop. And this is the most common loop that we do. It's just really easy and the goats love it. So we are now back where we've started, aren't we? Aren't we? They've been brilliant. As always, it's a pleasure to go on a walk, a little hike with them up the mountain. But they'll be looking forward to winding down now before bed. And that is it. They are back. Sweet Pea's just nibbling on some treats that we've given them. Every time we come back, we just reward them a little bit. Maybe give them some more apples or a few little treats. They absolutely love it. And they obey us, which is the main thing.
It's been a really lovely day, quite warm, but the temperature is now dropping. Everyone's in bed except for me and Theo and Furrnando.
Fernando's loving it. He absolutely adores being everywhere that we are.
He followed us for the whole walk.
And it was long. I mean, goats, yeah, but they got long legs and they're designed for doing long distances. But a cat, he's crazy. Thank you for watching this video. We've enjoyed filming it. We have, haven't we?
I'm happy to be back.
I'm happy to be back. I'm looking forward to a nice cold drink.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for watching and we'll catch you on the next one.